What's going on, everybody? It is your host, Dr. Splash, and I'm actually recording this before I step out to go and see Superman. So when you're watching this, I'm probably going to be in the theater. So what you need to do is let me know in the comment section down below if you want me to go live right after and react to Superman with a non-spoiler review. But getting back to this is a battle that the culture needs, okay? I have deemed this an incredibly amazing battle. Godzilla the God Butcher from the recent Marvel crossover versus King of Hell Doomsday, one of the more recent iterations of Doomsday. Who would win if these two absolute smoke demons clashed? We're gonna find out. Smash the like button if you love shit like this. Subscribe if you haven't already. Joined the Yancey Street Gang, and without further ado, let's begin. First, we are going to talk about King of Hell Doomsday. Now, Doomsday was supposed to be gone forever, having been erased in a major event. However, Doomsday had become more than just a monster. He had become an idea, right? And while he had been relegated and delegated to the hells of DC, this was nothing to him. You see, even if you don't have religion, Doomsday will haunt you. For the Kryptonians did not have one yet, Doomsday was their devil. Doomsday soon began adapting to hell as he was perfectly suited and capable of doing so. This included tearing through all the demons, including using a bunch of Etrigans and Super Etrigans as literal chew toys. This run by Doomsday was so crazy that First of the Fallen actually reached out to the likes of Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter also was having visions of this very Doomsday. Now, given Doomsday was at the strongest he had ever been, First of the Fallen indeed met with Supergirl and Martian Manhunter, offering them a suit that was designed to take on the Presence himself. First of the Fallen could not don this suit because if he did so, Presence would assume a war was beginning and would come down, which obviously First of the Fallen was not prepared for. Therefore, Supergirl was to wear this suit, go with Martian Manhunter, and confront this beast before he breaks out of hell. You see, Doomsday was growing so strong and was ripping through the infinite layers of hell in such a crazy fashion that nothing was stopping him, and there was a barrier that, if broken, Presence would assume the war had begun. So if Doomsday broke through, nobody would be able to stop him, and he would get back to eventually creation. Because of this, Supergirl and Martian Manhunter agree to forego this battle. They go down, they confront Doomsday, and start getting ragdolled. This shit was so bad because she puts him down initially, right? She's able to put him down, but he just gets back up. He didn't give a fuck. It's so bad that Martian Manhunter starts pleading with the souls of hell to have hope to stop this King of Hell Doomsday. All of them come together to stop him from escaping. However, as the story ends, it shows him trying to punch his way out once more. We do see he eventually gets out, going on to confront the heroes of Earth, confronting Parasite, tearing him apart, driving Superman into a rage as he gets beaten down and subdued by the likes of Superman and his team, which is an insanely impressive feat for modern Superman. Overall, this was a Doomsday that adapted to all layers of hell in DC Comics, was able to break out of a seal that would signify a war with the Presence, also took on the likes of an amped Supergirl and Martian Manhunter, and took on and threw hands with Superman until he was too pissed in the modern setting, which is quite incredible. His adaptation is arguably at its best, and to take him down and to usurp him would mean you'd be able to help take down Time Trapper Doomsday. And if he evolved further, he would literally become God. So that's how close King of Hell Doomsday is to the top tiers in DC. Essentially as strong as any Hell Lord could fantasize of being in DC. Easily outer for those that love those terms. And one of the most fierce characters in comics. But is it enough for the newest Godzilla? Let's get down to what the lizard does, okay? I'm gonna be real with you. This is my favorite version of Godzilla. This was a Godzilla who's formed from the many souls of the lost, forgotten, and the hatred that fuels them, right? Most importantly, from the atrocities humankind commits against one another. Godzilla forming into this raging, soulless beast, or rather one filled with plentiful of angry souls. For those that don't read Godzilla a lot, but they read Marvel, think Mangog, all right? The one that terrifies Asgard. He kind of has the same spiritual makeup. And let me know if you want to see Godzilla versus Mangog. I think that battle thematically, depending on the Godzilla, is fucking amazing. Okay, but getting back on task, this Godzilla was taken down for 20 years. However, there was the beast, the one from the Bible, the one that defiles all the gods create. This beast is worshipped by the Hand within Marvel Comics, which is this cult ninja organization. They initially sought out the perfect killer in mankind history to become the head of the beast or the beast incarnate. Perfect vessel, Frank Castle, Punisher. However, Frank was not really fucking with this. And because of that, they needed a new vessel and they needed a new host. This host would go on to be Godzilla. Using a blood ritual sacrifice, they bring back Godzilla as the host and the vessel of the power of the beast. He starts raging throughout Earth, and no one is capable of stopping him at that point, save for the hero of Midgard, Thor, Odin's son. All-Father Thor shows up and rages war against this Godzilla. Now, this Godzilla is actually able to press All-Father Thor, who in the modern setting is well beyond anything Odin's done. And this Thor has to eventually drop the realm of Jotunheim on him, basically an infinite realm of ice, to freeze over this beast incarnate Godzilla. Now, beast incarnate Godzilla stays frozen for weeks, and then the Hand and the Archpriestess seek him out once more. This time they bring forth something they stole from the collector of the multiverse, right? And this collective item was a piece of the Necro Sword, Power of Null, forged and was once utilized by the likes of Gore the God Butcher. Godzilla merges with the Necro Sword, this piece of the Necro Sword, and along with his power as the vessel of the beast, breaks out and starts rampaging. And one of the first stops he makes is Asgard. As Thor is out on a mission, Asgard completely falls. Everyone is absolutely butchered. Sif, who is found by Thor in space, who's floating and dying, begs for the All-Father to avenge Asgard, as Thor realizes he now faces Godzilla the God Butcher. These two begin rage war, with the world tree being shattered through, as Godzilla was merely laughing at these attacks, and a pissed off Thor, realizing nothing mattered more than putting down this beast, summoned every storm conceivable in Marvel Comics, literally creation levels of storms, and dropped it on the head of the likes of Godzilla. This, of course, was able to take him down, but not put him out for good, as in the bowels of hell itself. All-Father Thor and Godzilla are fated to rematch every now and then. The most graciously amazing battle you could possibly witness. Absolutely unfathomable to the human eye. This is simply the greatest fight in Marvel Comics, and it goes down every now and then, as someone like Thor simply can't die, and a monster like Godzilla simply cannot die, with, of course, the implication in the end with his beating heart floating in space, and Mjolnir floating in space, that obviously both are coming back. Now, with both of these characters described, with this Godzilla, who by the way was stated to be at his strongest ever, which at bare minimum includes earlier renditions of Marvel Godzilla that slapped around the likes of Hulk and Thor, okay? Or classic versions. So if these two were to clash, who do I think wins? Well, first of all, smash the like button if you haven't already. This is just a dope battle. But I would probably have to lean Doomsday. Now, granted, I think both are absolutely broken. I think this Godzilla is exceptional. But he was initially put on ice by Thor. Don't really think that would have worked on this Doomsday at all. But of course he gets stronger with the Necro Sword after that, which I do consider. But this is the same Doomsday that broke out of every layer of hell, soloed every layer of hell, was able to take on Superman, and only went down once he was fully raging. And this is modern Superman. I kind of favor this Doomsday. I think his reactive adaptability and healing's faster, unless you just put on peak modern Superman levels of damage and then rush in and stabilize the state he's in. It's hard. Godzilla doesn't have a method to do that. I think this would be one of the most epic battles you would see. The multiverse would shatter, similar to how Thor and Godzilla's final battle went. But I think the one that would stand up first. I don't think either would fully kill each other off, but the one who would stand up first would be Doomsday. I favor him here. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Who do you think wins, King of Hell Doomsday or Godzilla the God Butcher? Both are amazing characters. I had fun covering both stories, and I love the shit out of both of these versions of the characters. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I had a lot of fun doing this. Let me know if you want to see me cover Superman after I watch it tonight. And I have a Sonic Speedsters and Fiction Gauntlet dropping soon. Let me know if you're hyped for that. But yeah, anyways, it's been your host, Dr. Splash. And remember, it's Yancey Street, bitches.